What are you guys doing over here? I'm playing. How's it going? I'm gonna have to just let this go. Look at that. Look at that. What happened? I was doing good too. I got captured and everything. Yeah. Anyways, guys, welcome back once again. I have some of my wonderful tea here, Dark Moon tea. This is Fireside. It is nice and fiery. It's smoky. I love that lap song in it. Just so good, guys. So good. Today is Friday the 13th. Are you scared? I think we'll be okay. What do you think? In some countries, the 13th is not like a bad day. You know, in this country, in the US, for some reason it is. I don't know. I like the 13th personally, but then again, that's kind of how I am. So anyway, today's going to be an interesting day. We're going to be talking about Nikon, the good and the bad. There's some things that just came out that I want to bring to your attention because we've been talking about Nikon for the last couple of episodes. Also, I want to tell you about the rumored specs of the Sony A7IV. A lot of you guys are Sony guys, and you really have been waiting for a while for that Sony replacement of their A7 III. The A7 III, I've always said, was like the best that Sony has ever done. It is like their loss leader, in my personal opinion, and it has brought a lot of fresh people to the mix, all right? So really good. And I think that the A7 Mark IV is going to be the same type of thing. They're going to use it that way. They're going to put in the kitchen sink and just kind of reduce pricing here and there on some of the things, but they're really going to throw a lot into it to bring in that new blood. And I think it's really important. Also, we want to talk about Sony and them breaking into the drone game, right? Into the drone market. They do sensors well. Why don't you just throw the sensors up in the air? And that's what they're going to do. So those are the three things that we're going to get into. So let me start out with some housekeeping. Now, in the last video, I talked about a giveaway. And what we're doing is we're giving away a thinkTANK, an Urban Access Sling 10 is what it's called. It looks like this. And this is going to be given away to a lucky winner. All right, and that's all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel. I would suggest throwing on your notifications so you know when I put that video out there saying who won, you'll be notified of it. Anyways, this is the giveaway. That's all you have to do is go into the last video, put a comment in there, let us know what you hate about the show, what you like about the show, whatever. Put some information in there. As long as you put a comment in there, you're going to be entered to win this at the end of the month. All right, so go ahead and do that. In maybe here somewhere, I'll put like a link, or maybe in the description or in the top pinned comment, I'll put a link that you can go back to this video. So go ahead and sign up for that. Once again, it's a free bag. You know, $100 or more, might as well do it, right? So that's number one. Number two, as of last video, we now are able to offer channel memberships. A lot of you have been coming up to me and saying, hey, listen, how can we support the show? We love the show, we want it to grow, we want it to get better. And I'm like, well, I wish there was a way. I mean, I can just throw out a PayPal, you know, a link or something like that, which I can do, but I really want to be able to give back also. And I'm not really into the Patreon thing and that whole thing. Anyways, so YouTube approached us in email and said, listen, your channel is now able to offer channel membership. So that's what we did. There's channel memberships now. You'll see a little join button. If you click that, the memberships are like $4 and change, $9, $24, whatever you want to do, whatever you can afford. And what that does is it provides that to the channel, and I'm able to give you some type of perks. And those perks are going to be changing. I'm going to continuously add to those perks, and I want to hear from you what perks you would like to see in there at the different levels of membership, okay? one of the things I absolutely love that all members are going to have access to, not only our free Discord server, but also if you go into that community Discord server, you're going to be able to go live with me. That's coming soon. I cannot wait to do it. So if I have someone that's a Sony guy and we're going to be talking about a Sony A7IV that's coming out, let's say, I'll have you on the channel so we could talk about it. I like real world. I know certain things. You guys know more about other things. If we can collaborate on this channel, it's going to be awesome for the channel, but it'll also be awesome for everyone else watching. So that's number 2. And also merch. I have merch as a way to make a couple of bucks, but it is horrible. Okay, YouTube uses Teespring, and to be completely honest with you, I'm not going to get into it. I might do a whole video on this crap, but Teespring is not fantastic, all right? It is okay, but it is not fantastic. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to move all of the merch that I made. I made a lot of different kinds of logos and different cool shirts and caps and all kinds of stuff, but no one is seeing them. No one is buying them because of just the way Teespring is. Okay, so we're going to move away, and I'm working on that. And once it's done, I'm going to let you know about it. I'm going to start wearing my shirts and my caps and all the stuff that I made literally months ago. Anyways, we're not going to vent about Teespring, but if you want me to, I'll go into a whole video about why it's probably not a smart thing. Anyways, the last thing is if you haven't downloaded my ebook, go download it over at JCristina.com/ebook. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook, 10 tips at making tack sharp images. There's something in there for absolutely everyone. If you haven't downloaded it yet, why the hell not? It's free. Anyways, I put together some notes here that we're going to go through. Let me start out with Nikon. Now, the positives and the negatives with Nikon, we've talked about it. We know that they've now putting forth 2,000 employee layoffs overseas, and you know, they're trying to trim the fat, guys. That's the bottom line. They're trying to trim the fat. But some of the things that they do, I want to talk to you guys about. I don't get it, and you know, anyways. The D850, I've always said, is the best DSLR, full-frame DSLR ever made. And I'm a Canon shooter, okay? It is an amazing camera. Now, back when they were coming out with the 850, I said that if they end up with another camera that has continuous recalls, they're done. And I said the 850 was going to be that deciding factor. Okay, are they going to be able to create a camera that's amazing that doesn't have these recalls? And they did. Okay, they crushed it with the D850. Thank God, all right? If not, anyways. So this camera is about 4 years old, and people have been waiting for an update. And supposedly what I'm hearing is an update is coming, all right? Most likely 2021, we're going to see an update to the D850. That is a DSLR, but it's a professional grade piece of equipment. Now, they put that camera on sale. They gave like a $500 discount, so it was like $2,400 and change. Let's call it $2,500, which is an amazing price for that camera. Amazing. While everyone is going to mirrorless, you see that camera at $2,500, I mean, it's like a no-brainer. It is an amazing camera. But what has happened is the same thing that happened from the very beginning with that camera. Back orders and back orders and back orders and back orders. They put the thing on let's say, special, okay? They sold X number of units, the damn thing's on back order on Amazon, on B&H, on Adorama, on every site you go, there is no D850. Nikon, how are you going to make money if you don't have crap to sell? I don't understand it. It's like pulling up to a McDonald's, like, yeah, we're all out of burgers. What? I don't get it. I don't get it. You put something on sale, you know it's going to sell well, make a crap load of them so you can make some money. I don't get it. See, this is the kind of stuff that I don't know, it baffles me. Why do companies do this? I really don't know. And what's really interesting is I put a note here that Nikon just recently said that their DSLR sales volumes are up. They're higher than their mirrorless sales volumes. Make more DSLRs. You don't have to make mirrorless just because everyone is doing it. You know, I'm the kind of guy that I never go down the beaten path. I always take that secondary route that has, like, you know, all kinds of rocks and weeds growing over it. Now, sometimes to my detriment, you know, I go through a pair of shoes every once in a while because things aren't easy, but I love it. All right? I think it is very important that you do stuff that's not the norm. And when you see these companies see, oh, look at Sony, they're doing so well. Look at that. We're going to have to do the same thing. Well, yes, we know that mirrorless is the future. Okay, but if you're selling a crap load of DSLRs, make a crap load of DSLRs and slowly transition into mirrorless. We know Nikon's mirrorless has not sold well. Why that is, I don't know, and I don't really care. Make the damn DSLRs and slowly kind of migrate into it. You have Canon that did the opposite. They just threw like every bit of pennies, every single bit into R&D of mirrorless, right? All that continuously. They're just throwing it out there. The R, the RP, the R5, the R6, the R1, the R8 coming soon, right? They're going nuts with it. That's what Canon does. But if Nikon can't, personally in my opinion, I really do think that they should concentrate on some DSLR, especially going into the Olympic season. A lot of pros are going to want to use DSLRs because they're comfortable with them, especially older pros. Anyways, that's my rant with Nikon. Now the bad side, okay? Secondary bad side is that, Malaysia now is closing down, all right? So Nikon Malaysia is done, okay? So we've seen the layoffs, the 2,000 people layoffs. Now we're seeing actually Nikon Malaysia closing up. Now, here's like a little article, like a little announcement. Nikon Malaysia hereby announces that it will cease its total operation effective as of the 1st of January 2021, and its final operation day will be the 31st of December 2020. And here's the article. I'll leave it on the screen here if you want to stop, pause, or whatever, read through it or whatever. Anyways, they continue by saying Nikon is committed and will continue to provide products and service that meet the customer's needs and expectations in the Malaysian market and throughout the world. Well, okay, that's all great. Now, once again, take a picture of this screen if you are in Malaysia or in that area. These are the two companies that will be servicing your products going forward. It will not be Nikon Formal. So once again, take a picture or hit pause. So that's my rant on Nikon. Going into Sony. Now, Sony, I said, will be coming out with that A7 Mark IV. They're saying that it's expected right around Q2, possibly Q3 of 2021. That doesn't make a lot of you happy. I know you wanted to see it by the end of the year, maybe at the beginning of next. It's just not happening. It's just simply not happening. Is it a COVID thing? What is it? I don't know. But they're, to me, a little bit behind the eight ball, considering that Canon is going nuts with their R&D and their new mirrorless camera offerings. So Sony really needs to pick up the pace, in my personal opinion. Yeah, we have the A7S3, which I think was really great, but they're waiting on that A7IV. That is a big, big release. It's going to be massive, in my personal opinion. And like I said before, it will be that catalyst that brings in new blood into the system, let's say. Now, some of the rumors are quoted as the A7IV will have a new sensor with a faster readout. Also, the A7IV will not recycle the 24 megapixel sensor, but will use a 30 to 32 megapixel sensor. Now, that's important, guys. That is very important. We're going larger on the sensor. That means it's going to be really much better for the photographer, but for video, it's going to push things a little bit, and I'll get to that in just a second. Also, it says the EVF will have a 3.69 million dot resolution and not a 5.76 million dot back panel. It also says the AF will be top tier, as we would expect with any of the Sony cameras today, but they're probably going to reduce the quality of that LCD. Now, like I said, we need to save a couple of bucks on that loss leader, as we call it. The A7 III was that loss leader. They came in under $2,000. So we'll see how that ends up. Now, the video will definitely be 4K 60p. I'm absolutely certain of that, but 4K 120 most likely will not happen if they go with a larger sensor. Larger sensor, faster readout, as they're saying, but larger sensor, more data to write to the cards, and to be able to do 120p, you're gonna heat that damn thing up. It's gonna be like a Canon R5 is gonna melt to the ground as like a pile of lava, right? You can't do it. There's limitations. There's limitations. You go bigger sensor, you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit in video. Now, they also said that it's going to have an enhanced menu system, which is, I'm sure, well appreciated by a lot of you guys. Also, the design of that menu system is going to be better, and its functionality or usability. That is fantastic. A lot of the Sony people out there have always said to me, the menus are not that great. They're okay, but they can be a lot better. We need someone that does UI and does it well. All right, so maybe that's what they're doing. Okay, we'll see what ends up happening. And finally, the price estimate. Now, this is interesting. They're saying that it's going to be around $2,499. Let's call it $2,500. The same price as that Nikon D850 we just talked about, right? So, $2,499 instead of that $2,000 mark like before. Now, that is interesting. Okay, that might mean that this isn't that loss leader as the A7 III is. Like I said, it could be. All right, as soon as you break that $2,000 mark and now you're at $2,500, all of a sudden there's less people that want to go into the camera. By putting it out there for $1,999, people look at it as like, oh, I'm spending less than $2,000 because they don't have a lot of sense, but that's okay. That's the flock mental, and that's just how it is. So $1,999, people are like, you know what, sign me up. And that's why a ton of people that went from DSLR to mirrorless, they went with the Sony system. The Sony A7 III brought a lot of that new blood in, which is really, really good. And I'm thinking that this camera will be able to do the same thing, but in my personal opinion, Sony needs to keep it under that $2,000 barrier. That's what I think. We'll see what ends up happening with it. Anyways, moving on. Sony breaks into the drone game. We know Sony does fantastic sensors. Now we can shoot them up in the air and be able to capture stuff from up above. Makes sense, right? They shouldn't have a problem doing it. So this drone is going to be called the Airpeak. And let me go ahead and roll a video here real quick so you can see what this looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this press release up on the screen. You guys can pause and read through it if you want. I'm not going to word for word it. But in general, what they're saying is the drone space is really big and we see it as being a moneymaker and we want to get involved. That's basically it. Their AI, artificial intelligence, robotics is what they call it, division or department, will be focusing on this Airpeak. And we don't know exactly when it's going to be coming out, but it's definitely going to be coming out somewhere right around spring is what they're saying. Now, the idea behind this is they want to make something that is, or as they call it, the 3R, reality, real time, and remote. All right, that is the area of expertise that's going to be going into this drone, or however you want to call it. So it's very interesting. They find that there's a lot of professional use for the drones and of course fun use. So I'm going to guess that they'll have this Airpeak in multiple scales. Just around me, we see FP&L, our power and light company, flying drones all around continuously looking at the lines for any type of tree, debris, or anything, any kind of problems with the lines. So this allows them to do this remotely with a drone and cover an entire community literally in like a few minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, and they can fly around the whole community, go back, look at the 4K footage and see if there's any problems, any tree problems that need to be addressed or whatever. So Sony understands this. They understand the market. They understand that it is a moneymaker, and Sony is a company that builds crap that makes money and then deletes crap that loses money. And that's why I've always said, and I've said in the past, that if for some reason Sony's camera division at any time started losing money, they'll just cut it. And they wouldn't even care. It'd be like a Betamax or whatever. you know, a mini recorder or something. That's just how it is. They know how to make money, and they know when to say when. A lot of companies will hold that bowling ball until it hits the floor, right? And go out of business instead of just cutting it and know when to cut things. Sony knows when to cut things loose. Anyways, guys, that's about it for today. There's a whole bunch of topics today. It was kind of the end of the week, Friday. Once again, Friday the 13th. I wanted to just come to you with a bunch of different things and have a discussion going into this new week. This weekend should be interesting. I got a lot of stuff going on. I might even record something this weekend. We'll see what ends up happening. Anyways, I'm going to finish my tea, my fireside tea. So good. And I want to say that, once again, if you have not registered yet to win that bag, the thinkTANK bag right here, go do that. Go to that other video, like I said, the previous video, leave a comment, make sure you're subscribed. Very, very easy. Download my ebook. Also go to community.JCristina.com and join our creative community and our Discord server. And if you haven't went over to my website, go check it out. Over at JCristina.com, where you can find a lot of photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me. That would be absolutely stellar. And also use promo code YT20 at checkout. Once again, YT20 at checkout. You'll get 20% off everything in your shopping cart. So that's it, guys. I might jump back into a game of Galaga. Now, maybe I'll edit this video instead. I don't know. Maybe I won't. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay healthy and stay safe.